I think my wife's best friend is catching feelings for me and my wife won't see it. Yeah, I know how this is going to sound. Arrogant. Like I think every woman wants me. I don't. I just need to get this off my chest because it's messing with my head and I feel like I'm the only one seeing what's really happening. My wife Emily and I have been married for 5 years, together for 9, and we've known each other for nearly 20 years now. We've been through all kinds of ups and downs. She's my best friend, my safe space, my partner in everything. But lately, it's not her that's making me anxious, it's her best friend Rachel. Rachel and Emily have been inseparable since college. They've seen each other through everything: breakups, family drama, job changes. They're like sisters. And Rachel's love life? A complete disaster. Cheaters, emotionally distant guys, liars, narcissists. After her latest wreck of a relationship, she swore off dating and said she just wanted to be single and heal. Sounded like a smart move. But then she started showing up more often. At first, I didn't think much of it. She's Emily's best friend. But then the comments started. Emily, you're so lucky to have a man like Jake, or it must feel amazing to be loved like that. Innocent, maybe? But the vibe? Off. Then it turned physical. Her head on my shoulder, brushing my arm when she talks, sitting way too close on the couch. One time she actually sat in my lap and said I made her feel safe. She texts me now things like hope you're having a good day, smiling face with smiling eyes, or bet you're happy to see me again. She once asked if her jeans made her but look good. And the kicker? One night Emily joked, Rachel's basically your second wife with how much she's over here. Rachel loved that. Now she calls herself my second wife all the time like it's some cute inside joke. She even sent me a picture of a ring with the message, even your second wife deserves a ring, winking face. I showed Emily the text, told her I was starting to feel weird about it, and she just laughed it off like, oh, that's just Rachel being Rachel. But no, Rachel was never like this before. I'm not saying she's trying to seduce me or anything, but I think, after everything she's been through, she's getting emotionally attached. She's getting something from me that no guy's ever given her, and it shows. And I don't think Emily sees it, or maybe she doesn't want to. I started distancing myself a little. Nothing rude, just subtle. Like if Rachel came over, I'd stay busy with something else. Keep space between us on the couch, pull away when she got too touchy. I figured maybe she'd get the hint. But nope. She doubled down. Last week, I was in the kitchen cooking and she came up behind me, gave me this back hug and said, I swear, if I could clone you, I'd finally have a guy who doesn't ruin me. I froze. My hands literally stopped moving mid-stir. I didn't say anything, just kind of laughed awkwardly and kept cooking. Later, I told Emily word for word what Rachel said. She just shook her head and said, Jake, come on. That's just how she talks. But I'm telling you, that's not how she used to talk. Not to me. Then 2 nights ago, Rachel came over while Emily was out running errands. I didn't know she was coming, she just showed up with takeout. Said she figured I'd be alone and hungry. I kept it casual, thanked her, and texted Emily right away. Emily said, LOL, she's sweet, just eat with her, I'll be home soon. So I did. Kind of. But Rachel starts talking like we're on a date. Asking me personal questions. Telling me about her childhood. And then she hits me with, if things were different, if you'd met me before Emily, do you think we would have ended up together? I swear to God, I felt my stomach twist. I laughed it off and said, you're Emily's best friend. That's never even crossed my mind. She looked disappointed for like half a second, then brushed it off like it was just a joke. When Emily got home, Rachel was back to being bubbly and normal, like nothing happened. I didn't bring it up this time. What was I supposed to say? Hey babe, your best friend just asked me if I'd choose her over you in a parallel universe? I feel like I'm in some weird emotional triangle where 2 of us are pretending nothing's happening and I'm stuck in the middle going, am I crazy? Because that's what this feels like. Crazy making. Gaslight, why even? I'm not trying to stir up drama. I don't want Emily to lose her best friend. But I also don't want to keep pretending that this is okay. That Rachel is just being friendly. This doesn't feel like friendly anymore. This feels like a slow, silent pull in the wrong direction. And I don't know how much longer I can ignore it without blowing something up. So yeah. Things finally hit the wall. Emily had this work trip coming up. Just a quick overnight. Leave Friday morning, back Saturday afternoon. We talked about it earlier in the week. And she even joked, don't let Rachel steal you while I'm gone. I laughed it off, but something about that joke stuck with me. It wasn't funny anymore. It felt like she knew, deep down, that something was off but still refused to acknowledge it. Anyway, Friday rolls around. Emily leaves early, gives me a kiss, tells me not to live off frozen pizza. I work from home that day, normal, peaceful, until around 6 p.m., I get a text. Rachel, hey, I know Emily's out of town. Want some company? I stared at that message for a good 5 minutes before replying. Probably just gonna chill and catch up on work. Appreciate it though. Her reply came fast. Come on, you need a break. Let me take care of you for once. Let me take care of you. That sentence gave me chills in the worst way. I didn't reply. I thought if I ignore it, she'll get the picture. She didn't. Around 7:30, she shows up. No warning. Just walks into our place like she always does. She's holding a bottle of wine and wearing this tiny black dress like she's headed to some date, hair done, makeup on, heels clicking against our wood floors. I stood up immediately. Rachel, what are you doing? She smiled like it was nothing. I figured you could use a distraction. I brought your favorite wine. I told her straight up this isn't a good idea. But she wasn't listening. She sat down on the couch, patted the space next to her like it was some flirty movie scene. Relax, Jake. I'm not trying to seduce you or anything, she said, laughing. But that's exactly what it felt like. I didn't sit. I stood by the kitchen like a bouncer. I told her Emily wouldn't be okay with this and I wasn't either. That she needed to leave. She went quiet for a second, then stood up and said, so you really don't feel anything at all? Not even a little curious. I didn't answer. I just stared at her. And I think that silence broke her more than yelling would've. She grabbed her bag and left without another word. Now I'm just sitting here. Heart racing. Stomach in knots. And I have no idea how to tell Emily what just happened. Emily got home the next afternoon. I hadn't slept much. Barely ate. I kept playing that moment over and over again, Rachel standing in our living room dressed like she was trying to rewrite history, asking me if I was curious. As soon as Emily walked in, suitcase rolling behind her, I felt sick. I wanted to give her a hug, kiss her, pretend everything was fine. But I couldn't. So I told her. Everything. I told her Rachel texted me, that I told her no and that she showed up anyway. I told her about the dress, the wine, the way she acted, like she was trying to stage some kind of twisted date night while my wife was out of town. I told her Rachel asked me if I felt anything for her. If I was curious. And how I told her to leave. And Emily, she just stared at me. Not angry. Not scared. Just blank. Then she said she wouldn't do that. Not Rachel. I swear, that response hit harder than anything Rachel had done. I said, Emily, I'm telling you what happened. I wouldn't lie about this. And she just repeated, that doesn't sound like her. She wouldn't. It turned into a full-blown argument. I was trying not to yell, but I was hurt. Angry. She kept acting like I was twisting it, like maybe Rachel had just been flirty and I overreacted. She even said, you sure you didn't misread it? That broke me. I looked her in the eye and said, if the roles were reversed, if one of my friends showed up in a short dress and brought wine when I was gone, would you misread that? She didn't answer. She just said she needed space to think. And now it's been 2 days. Rachel hasn't reached out. Emily's been quiet. Cold. We're talking, but only about surface-level stuff. Dishes. Work. Groceries. Like we're roommates. Not a married couple who just got hit with a bomb. I don't know where we go from here. I'm not mad that Rachel caught feelings. I get it. She's been through hell and maybe she confused kindness for something deeper. But I'm mad that she pushed it this far. And I'm even more mad that the woman I married, who I've been loyal to for almost a decade, looked me in the eye and basically told me she doesn't believe me. I feel betrayed in a way I didn't think possible. And for the first time. I'm not sure if our marriage is as solid as I thought it was. It happened faster than I thought it would. 3 days of silence. 3 days of Emily barely looking at me. Then she came home from work and said, I texted Rachel. I'm going to talk to her. My stomach dropped. I asked if she wanted me to be there and she shook her head. Said she needed to hear it for herself. I didn't push. Just told her to be careful, not because Rachel's dangerous or anything, but because I knew how manipulative this could get. She left. I sat on the couch and just waited. Every minute felt like an hour. After about 90 minutes, she walked back in. No coat. No bag. Just walked straight into the bedroom and shut the door. 10 minutes later, she came out and sat next to me. She admitted it, she said, flat voice, no expression. Said she didn't mean to, but that she developed feelings. That she felt safe with you. That she got confused. She even admitted showing up was a mistake but said she hoped you'd feel something if she gave you a chance. I didn't say anything. I could tell Emily wasn't finished. She also said you didn't do anything wrong. That you never flirted back. That you told her to leave. I waited, then asked, so, what now? Emily didn't answer for a long time. Then she said, I told her we're done. I can't be friends with someone who'd do that. To me. To you. And that hit different than I thought it would. I should have felt relieved. Vindicated. But all I felt was hollow. Because I think a part of her did believe Rachel over me. Until she couldn't anymore. I reached for her hand. She let me hold it, but it felt like something between us had shifted. Not broken, not yet, but cracked. She finally whispered, I don't know why I didn't believe you. She was always the constant in my life. And I didn't want to see her that way. I think it hurt too much to imagine she'd betray me. And yeah, that stung. Because if I had said the same thing, I didn't want to believe it about my friend. She would have lost her mind. But I didn't say that. I just nodded. Because I get it now. It wasn't just about Rachel hitting on me. It was about Emily losing someone she thought was family. And in the process, she almost lost me too. It's been a few weeks since everything went down. Since Rachel admitted the truth. Since Emily cut her off. Since the friendship that lasted over a decade just ended. And yeah, we're still together. Still married. Still doing the day-to-day things like bills, groceries, making dinner, folding laundry. But there's this weight between us now. This weird, quiet tension that wasn't there before, like we're both trying not to poke a bruise we can't stop feeling. We haven't really talked about it much since that night. It's like we're both trying to pretend it's behind us, but we know it's not. I've been sleeping next to Emily every night, but it's different. Not cold exactly, but cautious. Like we're still feeling out where we stand after the trust got shaken on both sides. I caught her crying once. She thought I was asleep. I didn't say anything. Just reached over and pulled her into me. She didn't say anything either, just buried her face in my chest. I think that's when I realized how deep this really cut her. She didn't just lose a friend. She lost a piece of her identity. Rachel had been her constant since college. Every breakup, every bad decision, every inside joke. And now that's gone. And yeah, I get it. I do. But it's hard not to feel like I was the second priority in all this. She questioned me before she questioned Rachel. She doubted me, her husband, and I don't know how to explain how much that hurt. I keep telling myself it's human. That loyalty and denial are a messy mix. But it doesn't erase how alone I felt for those few days. How unsupported. How disbelieved. We've started therapy. Marriage counseling. Honestly, I didn't think we'd ever need it, but here we are. It's helping, I think. We're learning how to talk again. How to listen without defending. How to hear the pain without rushing to fix it. Emily apologized. For not believing me. For making me feel like I was imagining things. I told her I forgive her. And I do. But the scar is still fresh. I don't know how long it'll take to fully trust that she's in my corner when it counts. As for Rachel, I haven't heard from her since. No texts, no apology, no nothing. Maybe it's for the best. I honestly don't think I could look at her the same anyway. We're rebuilding. Slowly. Piece by piece. I just hope we're both willing to keep showing up. It's been almost a year since Rachel showed up in that damn black dress and tried to flip my life upside down. A whole year since I stood in the middle of my living room feeling like the bad guy in someone else's story. And somehow we made it. Emily and I are still married. Still living in the same house. Still sharing late-night snacks and arguing over dumb things like who left the fridge open or who forgot to take the laundry out. On the surface, we look like any normal couple. But if you really look, if you really pay attention, you'd see that we're different. We're more careful with each other now. More intentional. The blind trust? It's gone. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe what we have now is better in some weird way, not naive, not automatic. It's chosen. Earned. We did therapy for months. Dug into every painful corner of what happened. I told her how much it hurt when she didn't believe me. She told me how much it broke her to realize Rachel wasn't who she thought she was. We fought, we cried, we grew. Sometimes all in the same session. There were moments I wanted to walk away. Not because I didn't love her, but because I didn't know if we could survive what was lost. And honestly, I think she felt the same. But every time we hit a wall, we sat down and worked through it. She doesn't talk about Rachel anymore. Not really. I think there's still grief there, tucked in some quiet part of her that she hasn't unpacked. I don't push. That's hers to carry. Just like the resentment I used to feel is mine to own and keep in check. What happened changed both of us. I'm not as trusting as I used to be. I notice things more, not in a paranoid way, but in a don't let yourself get blindsided again way. Emily, on the other hand, has become more protective of me, of our relationship, of her boundaries. Funny how betrayal, even indirect, makes you see everything sharper. We're not perfect now, but we're real, honest, tired sometimes, but always choosing each other, even when it's not easy. And if there's one thing I've learned from all this, emotional cheating, even the kind that sneaks in under the radar, is real, dangerous, quietly devastating. And trust isn't just something you give. It's something you rebuild. Over time, over pain, over effort. We're still rebuilding. But at least we're rebuilding together.